Yo everyone, so I've been planning on making a video like this for a while, and also, I am now gonna use text-to-speech, cause why not? So on today's video, I'll be reviewing Barrier, a paramecia type fruit that can make barriers. I'll be rating it later in the video for its overall stats. Also, this tier list is also based on the overall usability of the fruit. I'll be judging it based on farming, PvP, bosses, and trolling. Without further ado, let's start. If timed right, it can deflect an enemy attack. You can even knock back your opponent if they dash towards you. Here's a simple combo starter you could use with Barrier and Shark Man. Surprise Attack is a TP move that damages and knocks up your target. It can be used for both dodging and attacking. If timed and aimed correctly, it can interrupt the moving target. It can also be used for transportation along with Barrier Z. Although it's slow, it's still pretty fun. Barrier Prison. You lock both you and a target in a barrier ball. You can drag your opponents and smash them on surfaces. Using this move will also give you free iframes whether it hits a target or not. It can be used as a good counter move when you have an opponent in front of you about to cast a skill. It is also often used to throw opponents to the sea. But remember that this move can be dodged by observation hacking. Barrier Towers is just a simple move where you smack down your opponent, but keep in mind that there are also spaces between the towers, and that your enemy can sorrow away and can get themselves unstuck. It can also sometimes glitch the opponents and get them under the surface. Barrier Stairs, a traveling move that summons a stairway but also taking you mana slowly while holding the move. It isn't a good traveling move, but it can be used to regain sky jumps when you are at a high place. Also keep in mind that it sometimes spawns under you and sometimes in front of you. Now that the moveset is done, let's get to farming. Keep in mind that it isn't Logia, so you aren't invincible to enemy attacks. It also has a lot of knockback moves that can push your enemies away, so it takes time for you to kill enemies. Although it is bad for farming, it is decent for bosses, since you can trap, stun and damage them with your moves. But just like in farming, it can knock back bosses, which could be pretty annoying. But overall it can support and damage on boss grindings. You could also block some projectiles that bosses attack with. It has great PvP potential, but UT really depends on your skill and opponent, since there are certain fruits with a lot of skill that Barrier can block. Barrier can also do decent combos, but it isn't that fast. In PvP I recommend you to use Barrier Prison when you are about to be comboed, since it gives you iframes, but overall it's just a pretty decent fruit in PvP. And I don't really think it needs a buff, since I think it's actually pretty balanced. In my opinion, Barrier is actually a fairly balanced and good fruit. Even though it doesn't do good in farming, it is pretty fun to use, and you can even troll your friends, lol. So I think I'll be putting it in the decent section. Well, that's all for the video.